Yes, indeed.
Cut that out.
Cut that out, brother.
All right, man. We had 25 seconds. Go ahead and get it popping.
Get back.
Yo, welcome to the Whole Lot of Nothing podcast, a podcast where we talking about a whole lot of nothing.
Yes,
Hey, yo,
indeed.
what? Give me that intro.
Intro boys. Hold up, man, what it do?
Yeah.
Whole lot of nothing in this thing with the crew. Yeah. Hold up, man, what it do?
Hey.
Whole lot of nothing in this thing with the crew. Yeah. Hold on, I'ma get it going off the reel.
Okay.
Young money, baby, Indo with a sip. Yeah. I ain't even really gon' trip. My boy back in this thing, meal from the cliff.
Hey.
Meal from the cliff.
Yeah.
And I'm back.
Uh.
The boys on the left. Got the snapbacks.
Yeah.
The boys on the right.
Uh.
We do it tight. We in the studio talking all night.
Yeah.
And we sipping on the little.
Yeah.
Now I'm about to pass the mic off to E. Jizzle.
Boy, man, Stub. About to throw this thing right to my boy Hollywood on the road.
That is enough, brother.
All right now, bro.
Alright. Hey, yo, welcome back to a whole nother episode of A Whole Lot of Nothing. Once again, it's your boy Zoe. And we got my boy Watt to the
It's
left.
your boy B.Y., man.
We're going to say my man to the left. We got my boy John to my right.
Yes, indeed.
We got my boy Jizzle. And we want to welcome back Big Meal.
Big
Big meal.
Hey.
Meal Lotto.
Lotto, yeah.
Hey, man, it's good to be back, man. I missed y'all boys, man.
Hey, man, we are all back like Taylor Swift. You get it?
Nah.
You get it? Cause she
Flat. Yeah, back. Yeah, I get
all
Oh,
back.
okay, all right.
Hey,
All right,
you like that? Hey, I'm a comedian now.
Yeah, all back.
Hey, long.
Oh, long back.
Hey, like my boy Martin said, nasty talk.
Nasty talk.
No nasty talk.
Hey, yeah, but before we continue, man, hey, shout out to Radio Therapy, man.
Thanks.
Hey, this beautiful studio that you got. Hey, man, we was in the apartment,
Hey.
one bed apartment. Hey, it was what it was. It served its purpose, but now we in the big leagues. So all of this is all due to Radio Therapy, man. This is the studio that you're seeing, all the beautiful production, how we getting better each and every week, man. They do a lot more than just provide a studio, to provide a service. So we definitely want to give them a shout out. Especially Terrence, man, putting us on. If you want to get connected with Radio Therapy, man, reach us out to our page. We definitely want to make sure we're promoting them because they are definitely helping us out getting along the way.
Yes, indeed.
Next, moving on to our sponsor to knock this on out is Indo Water. Hey, I can't say enough about Indo Water, but we got my boy Jizzle for that. We're going to put him to work.
You did. So Indo Brands, it's our new sponsor, man. They taking care of us. See, we got the merchandise. But basically, we have a sparkling and an alkaline water that's CBD infused. And we also have roll-on creams and oil that you use as a tincture under your mouth. So we got some things cooking up, man. So reach out to your boy, Indo Texas, ENDO _ Texas.
Yes, indeed.
TX, right?
Yeah, TX.
TX, just make sure.
And I ain't going to lie. Yeah, I ain't going to lie. CBD, even from Indo Water, from Jizzle, man, putting me on for, because I had no idea what it is, all the benefits that it provides. Indo Texas is definitely a good page to learn a little bit more, not about the brand, but about CBD, the movement that it's doing in the health industry. So Indo Water, man, definitely shout out. And I'm all good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it ain't even just,
Yeah.
it's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, yeah, man. So support Indo Water because they support us. But let's hop right into it, man. It's been a pretty busy week since the last time we got in. I mean, it looks like, life keeps going, and there's a lot of things that's been going on. We're going to touch right into what everybody's kind of been talking about. We're going to get right into that abortion law with Alabama. I'm going to give a little bit of a background for what we got because we want to make sure we provide the right information on our platform. So I got this straight from Times News. I'm pretty sure most people know already about it. Alabama passing a law about abortion and making it illegal for clinics to service abortion. So I'm going to kind of read over about that. It says, in Time says, Alabama this week signed the most aggressively anti-abortion law in recent American history. If enacted, law would only permit abortions only if mother's life is at risk or the fetus cannot survive. So that's important. So it's not that abortions can't be done, but it's basically minimizing what abortion can be legally done for.
Right.
But in not cases rape of incest, which is the big debate on with that. It says Alabama is not alone, so it's important to know that. After a series of conservative appointments to the U.S. Supreme Court, a growing number of states have moved to drastically restrict access to abortion. Over the past few months, several states, including Missouri, Ohio, and Georgia, have pursued heartbeat bill legislation that would ban abortion as soon as a physician is able to detect a fetal heartbeat.
Yeah.
Once again, it's important to note that none of these new laws have yet gone in effect, and abortion is still legal in every state. And the lady that passed, his name is Ivy. I forgot her first name, starts with a K. Ivy herself admitted that the Alabama bill is likely unenforceable thanks to the 1973 Roe versus Wade Supreme Court decision. I think that pretty much goes into it. But, yeah, people not really feeling it. Oh, I did want to go into as far as the details of the law. So it just says, under the Alabama Human Life Protection Act, performing an abortion in Alabama would be a felony.
Yeah,
that's important. That was a big important part.
Yeah.
The legislation will, which Governor Ivey signed into law on Tuesday, defines a fetus as a legal person for homicide purposes and compares abortion to the Holocaust and other genocides. The woman who received the abortion would not be held criminal, I don't even know how to say it, culpable or civilly liable. So basically, it just says if the law goes in effect, there will only be two reasons a person in Alabama would have an abortion: if the fetus has a lethal anomaly. Lethal anomaly. Thank you. Which would cause death soon after birth or stillbirth, or it will prevent serious health risks to mothers, etc., etc. So, we are all 5 black men who definitely don't bear children.
Thanks.
So, but I think also it's important that having a child is also our responsibility as well.
Right.
We have, we're not saying what women can do or can't say, but we're also saying that we have, our viewpoints. Like, it's important, it impacts us. Abortions. I know we don't want to take the rights away from women, and we know that it's, some people will talk about it. We feel like it's ultimately the woman's choice what to do with their body, so on and so on. But also the simple fact that a child is supposed to be the responsibility of both.
Right.
And so it impacts when the child is aborted. I don't think people talk about the effects of it has on the male side as well. So I want to challenge us on this conversation we know how we can give a little piece of how we feel about the women and what we think, women's rights, and it's their body, they should do what they want to do with it. We'll talk about the law, but also on the giving the male perspective of abortions, how it affects us. What do we feel, how we feel about abortions, because that also impacts us too.
Right.
Let's say if they do have a child and we say they can't abort it, that could possibly be
child support.
Child support, exactly. I heard, or I think I saw something, and I don't want to get into it and talk too much. I'll let y'all get into it. But I did see something, I think on social media, talking about that, ironically, the law wants to impact abortions on whether the woman can have a child or be able to abort a child or not. But legally, they want the man to raise a child and get involved as far as paying child support. But we want to say it's woman's choice if they should have the child or not, but it's not a choice if the man should pay child support or not. Right?
Right.
Right.
So, is it different, rules when it applies to men and women? Do we feel like...
Yes.
Are we? Is that where we're going?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start with that. I want to take a different twist. I think we all know I think everybody... let's start here. Does everybody first think that it's wrong that they passed the bill? Let's start at the surface level.
I think it's deeper than right or wrong at this point, because if you do like intensive research on what's actually going on with the bill, it's much deeper than just them passing the bill in Alabama.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do is basically like make the bill so egregious that it goes to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court can then determine whether or not they're going to overturn Roe versus Wade. So with that being said, it's like all of this hoopla is literally just getting people talking.
That's all it is, bro. Like, real talk. Like,
so, and then the plot or the plan is to get it to Supreme Court, and they have enough conservative judges on the Supreme Court to overturn something like this. So Alabama is a state, you know, that they just passed the law or whatever. It's probably not gonna go into effect. I don't think so. But yeah,
They said about 6 months.
right. But
So-
it has to go through certain courts to even get
Right.
passed.
Yeah.
And the governor has to pass it too. So it's
Mhm.
like it's a process to go through that. But at the same time, we got to be as just, you know, intelligent men, intelligent black men, understanding like, okay, this is just a plot to
have
to-
something going.
to get some. It's like the in basketball, you know, you have like a game plan. It's like the first quarter game plan, but this is a long game that they're trying to do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but I think the biggest thing is when we're looking at it is that they're actually gaining steam because other states are backing like quickly after we saw Georgia.
They already had.
Georgia already had it, but I'm just saying the whole, I guess the law in the sense that they're trying to pass is gaining steam. You got Georgia, I think Missouri, I think Ohio was one of them,
Right.
Kentucky maybe, and I think Louisiana. So it's gaining steam.
Right.
So to feel like it's something that they're not gonna get it through or pass it through, I think it's gonna be difficult. I do believe it's gonna be difficult, but they are gaining steam.
For sure.
And do we think this is something that should be a state right, or do we think it should be something that's federal right?
Mm-hmm.
I think-
Anybody?
I mean, I guess one, I don't agree with the bill. Let me just say that.
Okay.
You know, because again, I think we should just let women, control their own bodies because it's just a history of just men telling women what to do, and and that doesn't really work out in the woman's favor. But as far as like, there being a game plan and just kind of looking at the whole, I guess, picture of it. It's just very interesting because from another perspective, I think Charlamagne the God actually said something well on it as well, to where he was like, if we look at all the senators that have passed this bill, or what I'm saying, and in all these states, they were old white ladies or old white men,
Right.
and so there was a, I guess, conspiracy, if you want to call it that, to where it's like, okay, well, maybe white people feel like they're becoming the minority in the nation. So maybe this is like a way for more white babies to be born, to flip it back to them being the majority. And so, this is just an interesting take that I kind of, just kind of thought about. But, it's, definitely going to be life changing. And definitely, it's.
Well, yeah, no, you brought up a good point as far as the conspiracy. I did see. I saw some people talking about, abortions kill more blacks than anything else.
Yeah, that's possible.
Right. I think because, and you could talk about it on a very systematic issue as far as you talk about like lower class things that we are exposed to, the disadvantages or the uphill battles that we have economically or systematically in our neighborhoods, to where it makes it hard because we know raising a child isn't cheap. It's an expensive thing. Things that we are exposed to, things that we have, resources are not always be there to our advantage, and then to let alone bring a child into play is expensive and difficult. So what they're kind of saying is it's more likely that someone in minority is more likely to have an abortion.
I didn't like this spin.
Yeah, I don't think
Especially-
that's
I
true.
don't either. Let me
I
go
didn't
on.
like
I
that
don't
narrative
like
that the national media was playing on that too. Like I just, me personally, I was like, why is this a lower class black thing? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
mean, race sells too, though, so they trying to make it still.
facts, but mass media also sells to everybody. So it was just like you're pushing that narrative of, oh well, this is gonna affect black people.
This is a black thing.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, bro, this affects women. If we gonna push it that way, it affects women. It affects everybody, honestly. Yeah.
And my thing is, if you're gonna, try to put this law in place, but you're not putting anything in place to what happens afterwards, right? So as far as
Sex education.
yeah, sex education, are you gonna help the mother that just had this baby that she can't cared for because she doesn't have enough money. You know what I mean? Things like that.
And to piggyback what you're saying, I'm not saying I agree with the bill or disagree with the bill, but abortion forces the lack of abortion forces you to be more responsible. Like if there's not an option on the table to say, and this is excluding victims of rape, victims of incest. So I just want to make sure like the listeners understand that that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
Like they'll be like, what? He doesn't believe like
yeah, right.
But if this bill were to pass, it forces people to be more selective with who they choose to be promiscuous with. And you gonna think twice about who you do it with, because now sex isn't just for pleasure and it isn't just for like the fun time. It's procreation.
I honestly don't think that it's gonna change that much, bro. Like you're gonna think about it, but 9 times out of 10 you still gonna do it. Now
I don't know,
but
if
I'm talking about the women though. Like it's still gonna be a way to get an abortion, bro. That's all I'm saying.
But the thing is now, it's still a way to get abortion,
and they just forcing it underground.
Right.
Yeah, but now there's going to be penalty for you to even go do that.
Facts.
But it's
gonna
not
be
the woman that's
punishable.
getting penalized.
Yeah, but as a doctor, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna take this 99 years
Who
just
you
to
gonna
help
find to
you
do
out.
it? Who you gonna find
It's
to
gonna
do
be
it?
real
And
hard.
if the risk goes up, the cost goes up.
Facts. Not
Okay.
only does the cost go
Yeah,
up,
you're right.
but now it's like I can't, like, in a capitalistic environment, I want to be the best because I want everybody to come to me. But with social media, with just being popular with something that's so serious, if you become the most talked about person of your craft in abortions, you're going to jail.
Yeah,
Like,
facts.
All right. So this kind of brings. I had little subtopics on it, and I mean we can kind of quickly run through them and see how y'all feel about it. So the first part is when it comes to the abortion, right? You touched on it as well, talking about if there aren't any of it, or if you're talking about making it illegal, or abortion clinics are now not going to be able to be available
Right.
or accessible,
Mhm.
that people may suggest that they may think twice about who they sleep with, who they take those chances with, as if STDs is not already a good enough reason. But let's do the flip side. Let's say we say, okay, it is, pro-choice, and abortion clinics is something that should be available, because we know that's a market. If that could be $1 billion market.
Yeah,
It's $1 billion. Let's think on the business aspect. Business could boom if we allow abortions to be, legal.
But they already are.
Well, they already are, and I mean, I think it is a.
So you're saying, like, what if they limit it, like, maybe after, like, okay, you know what I'm saying, like you said, it's the first quarter of it, to where, okay, you know what I'm saying, they're trying to, I guess, ban it, so to speak, but maybe in the long run they may say, okay, abortions are legal, but now you can only get them at these places, to where now they're raking in all that money to those
insurance.
Exactly. So I can see that side of it too. So that's a good point, perspective.
But
They cannot do that.
No,
dude.
that's what I promise.
Can't
That's
do
what
what?
they aiming for. They aiming
Say that abortions are legal, but you can only do it at specific
What
places.
he backing off what he said, just like creating this one place where people have to come, like cancer treatment centers of America. Like anybody got cancer,
You go to this one spot,
yeah. And they just finna.
Nah, I don't see that happening, bro. I don't see that happening. I mean, it's possible, definitely, but
I honestly think, man, just looking at it like just an overall perspective, I really think it's like you alluded to earlier, like I think older white people are seeing their race kind of not be as dominant in American society as they used to be. Like, bro, you got to think, like, these old white conservative people literally saw like let's say if you take somebody who's like 70, maybe 80 years old, bro, they saw Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? Like, they saw the civil rights movement.
They saw that.
And now it's an even playing field. So it's like, yo, like, we don't have as much strength.
But
in
to
this.
me, it's stupid because once those men that made that bill, once their granddaughters and daughters start having sex with black and Mexican dudes or Hispanic guys, and the babies start coming out mixed, because you can't get, like, you can't abort it, fam. You can't abort it. So Hey,
I
what's
mean,
up, Gramps? You know what I mean? You got a black grandson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I want to get back to kind of what I want to get to.
If it's racist.
So let's say we say, okay, we talk about pro-choice, and abortions become. I think right now abortions aren't a very normal thing. But let's say it.
I ain't gonna say normal.
No. But let me explain why I say normal. Maybe normal is not the right term. Socially acceptable.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with
That's a better term.
Yeah,
Socially acceptable. So let's say, for instance, now they allow abortions socially acceptable, just like compared to the gay movement.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Yeah. And now abortion movement no longer shaming people for what their choices are. Same kind of concept. Do we feel like the generation we have kids, or the generation to come, when they're gonna look at abortion very differently? They'd be like, I'm going raw every time because I can pay to get this thing aborted. So who cares?
No, fam.
Hold on, you're saying if abortions aren't abolished or if they are?
You saying if they stay legal, right?
So they stay legal, but they come more socially
acceptable. To me, I don't think that. You could say they're socially not accepted, but there's plenty of women that get abortions every day, fam. Like,
but you could say
no, but you're saying like popular. Like,
I'm not saying
it's
popular.
Like, it's
popular
cool
is different.
to do it.
No, I'm not saying cool to do it, but I'm saying same thing like how. Tiptoeing on the line, because I don't want to say nothing too wrong, but I'm like the gay movement, right?
Okay.
So we know just statistically and socially throughout history, people were probably more prone to probably hide being
gay,
homosexual,
right?
Because of it wasn't socially accepted,
right,
and the backlash that came with it, ridicule and things they had to go through. So same thing as far as, but now it's like, you know what? Boom, everybody's like, hey, I'm gay. I have nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not hiding it. It's your problem that you got to deal with. So I think for a while, like, people didn't want to just let people know, hey, I had an abortion. I think people nowadays, some people hide the fact that if they've had an abortion, pay for abortion, especially for ladies.
Right.
For guys, we can say something because we can be like, hey, man, I wasn't ready, man. Hey, I dodged a bullet. I mean, not to be funny about it, but that's maybe a guy's perspective.
That's what happens, bro.
Yeah.
But for a lady, she may not have that same feeling of emotion like, hey, I dodged a bullet. There's emotional things that happen.
What's crazy is, and I'm following you the whole time, but what's crazy is it's like, this is what makes this topic so, like, I don't want to say juicy as a cliche, but like just so interesting, because that feeling, like, because everybody in podcast land that watches Whole Lot of Nothing, your boy, went through that experience with a young lady. So the feeling of aborting a child is different afterwards. And it's just interesting because the people that are saying like, oh, you don't have the right to talk about, how I'm supposed to do something with my body. It's interesting hearing them saying, I want that right. But the women who've gone through that process, like, nobody's talking about the after effects of abortion. Because
go ahead.
I mean, it's literally like, bro, like that. I mean, I was with the lady the whole way through. So I was there on the drive to Houston because places in Dallas didn't do those type of operations, and I had to drive to Houston with that mud and console her while she's getting ready to literally like abort a child, which is you're killing a child. You know what I'm saying?
Was like the effects it would have to the person mentally, physically. Like, can they come back from that? Like, some people can't come back from that type of trauma.
It's hard to have children after you have an abortion.
Yeah, and then on a physical aspect, like, what actually happens to a woman's body? Say if this goes through 6 to 8 weeks, like, we don't know what happens to their body.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Like, I was kind of conflicted, bro, because it's like, damn, you want to give the women the choices and everything, but it's like, bro, the actual baby is getting killed in this month. Like, you know what I mean? Quote unquote baby. It depends on how far along you are.
But that's part of the bill too,
right?
The heartbeat.
The heartbeat bill, yeah. So I mean, but for me, it's just like, and then you got to think about religion and all this other different type of stuff that goes into it. So for me, it's like, it's tough. So you got like, I don't even want to take it that far. Go ahead.
See, I'll touch on it because you said the religion part, and that's my thing. So my issue with people with this stance, for me, I'm gonna always take the Christian viewpoint of how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I feel like someone should abort a child? I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, and I mean, and that's from a male
In
perspective.
all,
In all cases, I'll stand firm on that.
even rape and
and
incest.
even rape and incest.
All right, so they
I
shouldn't
stand on
abort a child. Period.
Okay,
That's how I feel about
that's
abortion.
Zoe's take.
What about-
Not
So-
everybody on
Okay,
Holley.
hold on.
So
Go ahead.
let me explain, because that's how I feel about abortion, and that's how I feel about child life. I feel like no matter what, a birth of a child, a healthy baby, not healthy, whatever, is always gonna be a blessing and something to congratulate. Someone having a kid, I'm always gonna first be like, congratulations. That's
Yeah,
hard, but
yeah.
that's to me. That's
Nah,
just
yeah, nah.
because you never know what that child's purpose in life is driven, or whatever. So that's just how my standpoint is. That being said,
Mhm.
that's based on my Christian viewpoints.
Mhm.
I don't think the government should have the right to enforce. Because I'm assuming they look at abortion, to me, based on a more religious standpoint.
Right. That's
That's
what
what I'm
I'm
assuming.
thinking too.
That's what
yeah.
I'm assuming.
That's what I'm assuming.
And I don't think it's the right for
Who? The whole government?
well, like people that's passing the law.
Well, and Alabama probably was.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, but I'm saying like
That's the
they're
deep
probably
south.
taking their Christian viewpoint and trying to say, you know what, we're gonna abandon this and make it a law against it. And I don't take my Christian viewpoints. I don't think someone should take their Christian viewpoints.
And put them
And the
toward.
government specifically should be able to enforce how they feel religiously on someone else, what they should do.
Right.
Okay.
And that's where the separation between church and state
state.
comes in. You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
I do also believe that the state should do things that are for the betterment if it's for health purposes.
Okay.
If
Just
it's
quick.
saving the mom or if it's
Exactly. So if you're talking about saving a mom's life, you know, or like you said, the
That's
child will
hard
come
because childbirth is tough within itself.
exactly, and exactly.
Quick scenario. What about if it's like a sick family member that rapes? You know what I'm saying?
What you mean by sick?
You know, like it's
Like
uncles
Like mentally or like
No, it's
physically?
like you know, they're
Like just sick in the head.
Yeah, like
Okay.
they rape their niece or something. Like
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, Zoe said it's cool. You can have that baby.
That's why I brought it up. I
That's
was
what he
like, that's,
said.
I
that's
did,
why I'm like, man.
And that's
don't
why
know.
I mean
Zoe
But-
said,
but-
it
okay.
was a blessing.
but
I mean that's why
no. So yeah, but no, I'm not saying that what happened is a blessing. But give me a scenario where a kid giving birth to life, what one child to say, how can I look at a kid and be like, fam, you ain't no blessing.
Okay,
Well,
but
you got to
Bob,
decide whether it's a kid or not yet.
No, I mean, not like, I
Biologically.
mean, and then also think about it. So let's say somebody gets raped, and then she like 13 years old, and then she, you know what I'm saying, and then she gets pregnant, and so one,
Who
she's
should get
13,
pregnant by?
maybe her uncle, you know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying,
yeah,
but
okay.
you know what I'm saying, one is a 13-year-old kid. Two, how can a 13-year-old kid take care of a baby? Three, if you take the baby away, then that just adds to the more numbers that are, you know what I'm saying, that kids that need foster care and stuff like that. So there are different things that come into play when you talk about, you know what I'm saying, like them keeping the babies, because we got all these kids nowadays that don't have homes. You know, so the after effect of this, we could see a jump in abandoned kids, and you know what I'm saying, and so I just think it opens up, you know, that Pandora's box of the after, you know, what are we going to do after this, because a 13-year-old kid cannot take care of a child.
And then like at the same time, we're not thinking about the kid, fam. Like if you find out you are a product of your uncle and your uncle raping his sister, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Biologically,
And then like
so you rather be dead?
I'm just
You rather
saying.
not be born?
I mean,
you don't have a
a
choice.
choice, fam. But I'm just saying, like that could lead to mental illness, fam.
Right.
Like that could lead to suicide. That could, you know,
And if that
things like
happens, and more times than not, if that happens, you don't have the resources to even deal with that mentally.
That's why I said are you gonna pass this bill, but are you providing what
Okay.
needs to be
Necessary steps.
given?
But I'm glad.
After.
Hold on. But I'm glad y'all brought those points up. So, twofolds. One, I can say. I mean, I know personally. I would say somebody who, and this may be older, because this is maybe older generation or grandparents or whatnot. But I know someone whose mother had their first kid at 14. They was pregnant at 14. Had a kid, had a whole family, everything perfectly fine.
my granny had my mama at 15.
That's what I'm saying. So to say that they can't, and I mean, we
But
say
that's
13
different.
and 14 are different, but they had probably less resources back then than we do now.
It was also a lot cheaper to live than
Facts.
Yeah, but still less resources.
And was the person who got her pregnant, she with?
I mean, but I'm just speaking strictly to the saying that 13, you can't raise a kid at 13. I'm just saying, not that it's not difficult, but I'm just saying, we know real life scenarios where people.
But what's the success rate though?
Is a difference, but we're not talking about success rate.
We're talking about life.
Because I'm saying, because what I was gonna get to is same. I hate to go biblical with it, but so be it. That's how I look at Moses. Moses was supposed to be, in a sense, to me, aborted. You know, they were supposed to at that time the Egypts and having something like that. He's supposed to be aborted. Yeah. But his mother, and this is what I'm getting to. Hold on, this is what I'm gonna get to my point.
Go ahead.
She knew that she could not have the child or raise the child, but she gave him a chance. She didn't know how he was gonna turn out. Putting the basket in the river. People can talk about how they want to talk about it religiously. But I say that because when you said maybe you cannot raise them at 13, 14, or 15, well, what about put them up for an adoption?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that.
Yeah,
but my thing...
Because you're going straight to killing them, or if I can't raise them to kill them.
What's the success rate of an adopted child?
But we not even talking about that, fam. We talking about products of rape and incest, dog. We not talking about if you had sex with a 13-year-old with a 15, 16-year-old or whatever.
You didn't have the option to say no in the sexual encounter.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, you were forced to have sex, and now you're forced to have a kid, bro. Yeah. Like,
well, you didn't even
but that's what I'm saying. So let me go back to the whole point of my stance. That's how I feel. But I don't think the government should be able to dictate if you can or can't. Right. I believe everybody should have the right to how they feel about
everybody
it.
Should be pro-choice.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah,
okay,
correct.
Right.
So I'm pro-choice. Cool. I'm just saying how I feel, and I'm getting to the whole point of just I'm saying that for people that feel that way on the Christian viewpoint, because I know people that are pro-life have these viewpoints and feel about it, but I'm like, that's cool, but the government shouldn't have an impact.
But see, that's the thing, right? So you got people who are Christian that vote how they feel, and it's their right to vote how they feel. You know what I'm saying? So that's where this problem, or not even problem, but that's where this issue stems from. It's like all of these women that are in hot protest and hot upset. How did these men get elected? Y'all got voters' rights. The Voters' Rights Act passed way back in the day. But how did these men get in position to make these decisions?
I mean, I think you know the answer to that.
What is the answer?
I mean, because politics. I mean, because look at it, man. They all white and old. So as far as
they got voted in the office,
I understand that, but at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can go out and vote and stuff like that, which I think there'll be more voters nowadays because of all this shit. But
good, express that shit.
Express yourself.
But get through it. But you know what I'm saying? As far as like there being the whole politics behind it, you know, they'll find ways to stay in power, to have that power. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? We can say, you know, get out there and, you know what I'm saying, use your voice, use your voter rights acts, you know, but at the same time, you know, these people have been in a position of power for a long time.
Yeah.
White conservatives.
Yeah.
Right.
They're in control of the government at a state level and at the national level.
Okay.
And so
with that mindset, I'm gonna ask you, okay, then why not just sit back and watch this shit happen?
I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean,
that's my point with the
but
women.
There is a shift, like I said. There is a shift coming because of us and because the people under us, because we have a more progressive mindset nowadays.
I agree.
But I'm just saying, as it is right now, the reason why these laws are coming into play like this, you know what I'm saying, from the Christian views, white Christian viewpoint, is because of how it's always been, all this, you know, all this politics behind the scenes.
Okay, let me pose this question to everybody on the podcast. Do you all think that if this bill were to have had the clause of rape victims and incest victims,
the Alabama bill,
yeah, would it be as impactful?
No. Well, I don't know, maybe.
And I think that's what their initial idea was. It was like, yo, we literally have to shock the world, because you got to think. That's why I said first quarter, right? they're not trying to just get this bill passed in Alabama, fam. If they wanted to, they would have done it by 1,000 cuts, like that, by 1,000 cuts. They're trying to go ahead and get this knocked out the way. So, like I said, they already have, conservatives have the Supreme Court, basically.
Right. Yeah.
So if this bill goes to the Supreme Court, which as much attention as it's getting, it's gonna go to the Supreme Court. Like, it's a shockwave.
Fam, it might not, bro.
It will.
It's gonna go sooner or later for sure.
For sure it will.
Because they're gonna keep appealing it.
They wouldn't have put it in place if they didn't figure if this was.
So do you think it's gonna pass? Or?
I don't think
No.
the bill was not designed to be passed at all.
Well,
and that's what people not understand.
I'm saying, are you think it's gonna overturn Roe versus Wade?
I think if it gets there, it is, and
Yeah.
that's why I was talking to John. I was like, right then, I was like, yo, are we just gonna sit back and watch it happen?
Yeah,
Like-
I do think it's like a boxing match. It's just it's the first jab,
Yeah,
and you just keep jabbing away. It's a body shot. I think once you create conversation, you can have the division. You can get the numbers of who stands for what in what state, and then once again, to me, in most cases, what a state may fight for is it may not be a federal thing. Just, do the states get the right to choose it? Who gets the right to choose? That's the biggest battle that probably the states are fighting for. States are saying, let's decide if it's right or not.
Yeah, they trying to get the power back.
It's the same thing
overturn
with
the
same
states.
thing. I hate to compare. Same thing with gay marriage. Just like should the states decide or should nationally should it be legal? Same thing with marijuana. Should the states decide or should it be national? So you're gonna have people that's outraged on both sides,
right.
like just like anything else. So when you say is it gonna go to the Supreme Court and you think it's gonna get passed or not, it's not so much do we think it's gonna be a national thing. Cause let's not make it as if it's gonna be a national thing. Cause I don't think it'll get to that point. The federal government is not gonna touch that.
Yeah.
Cause anybody that's going for presidency is gonna stay away from that.
Yeah.
Or to the best
Nah,
ability.
I disagree with that.
Well, yeah. Well,
like profoundly.
I don't say that because they're gonna have to talk about it. So they're gonna have to they're gonna force to put them on the decision. I don't think. I mean, Trump, of course,
You pro-life.
is pro-life
Yeah.
and he stands on it. So he's gonna get those votes. And you got to. And if candidacy is coming up,
Right.
this is going to be a hot topic.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing where the numbers lie, if I am running for presidency, I am gonna go with whoever the majority.
Is rocking with for sure, even if I don't agree with it.
And my thing is too, it's like, okay, so we hear all the time about these people in power as well. Like, let's say they get somebody pregnant that they don't need to be pregnant, they gonna find a way to get rid of the baby.
I agree.
Oh, duh.
And
But-
so it's just
Hell yeah.
yeah. So it's like, they'll have the resources for themselves.
Yeah.
But kind of they'll what I'm saying, give us the boot and kind of incriminalize us for it. So it's just kind of maddening too, but it's kind of like we're kind of numb to it at this point when it comes to just the
Yeah. But hold on, I want to get to so we don't stay on the topic too long. I do want to get to one. My probably how I process in my head how would I kind of make it to where it could be done, because I do feel like when
Solution.
a solution or just I want to kind of give a scenario of what you guys think being men. Do you feel like when it comes to abortions, right, how much say or should both parties get a say on if they both agree to have the abortion?
The
For
execution of it.
instance, I get a lady pregnant,
Mhm.
right? She doesn't want to have a kid, but I do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think we can do this, et cetera, et cetera. She's like, I don't think I'm ready. Blase, blase. But she's like, I want to get an abortion. She's like, I want to get an abortion. But Zoe feels strongly about not getting an abortion. Right? Should I be like, you know what? It's all up to you? Or should maybe when it comes to abortion, like hey, should abortion clinics say, the first step is, can I get both parties agreed upon it? Can I get both of y'all to sign off? Should you go through certain levels of counseling before you do it?
Man, females are these forging signatures, dog.
That shit is
I
never
mean-
gonna work, bro.
I'm giving a scenario
But I'm
for
just-
the topic.
I'm
I'm giving
just-
the topic.
I'm saying, but like,
But what perfect scenario do you feel? I mean, cause what if a guy wants to have a kid? I mean,
yeah, I understand. But
What if you trying to trap them mud?
yeah. So what if you hit one of them Tyra Bankses or them
Staying in, son.
That is the thing.
yeah, try to trap one of them Megan Goods, you know what I mean? And then like, I'm trying to have this baby. See, like I ain't trying to add him more.
but I mean,
But-
we talk. But I'm just
but,
saying,
like, you know
there's
what I mean?
scenarios where
Yeah.
someone may not want to have a kid.
Yeah.
I mean,
And the
yeah.
dude does.
I mean, that's
But
tough.
that happens all the time. And
Facts.
women
Yeah, it does.
It's on the woman.
Yeah.
But okay, that's kind of what I'm getting to because
on
I'm
the
saying,
woman.
dude.
But you saying, do we
Shit,
think it's
abortion-
fair?
I'm
Because she
saying
got to
shit
carry them one for 9 months. Like,
Yeah, but there's also things emotion that it does to the guy as well after an abortion too.
That's true.
That people just overlook. And I mean, and maybe we just don't care. Be like, guys,
it's not
I'm
the
not.
same as
And
a
we're not
woman,
talking about
bro.
comparing. I don't want to compare because we know it's definitely more so on the lady.
Right.
So this is not a comparison thing.
Okay.
This is bringing more light to
Well, equity.
more equity to the matter. Or I'm just saying I've never had an abortion, so I don't know the process.
Them hoes suck, bro.
But so I'm saying when someone gets an abortion, should there be some type of did we first try to get in contact with the male on not that he trumps what the lady says.
But my thing is, how you know that's your baby?
That's hard, bro.
So it's no way that can
That's
even
hard.
happen, fam.
Well, would you go with someone to get an abortion before you know if it's your kid or not?
How, nigga? You don't know if it's your kid.
you do that automatically, bro.
But this is my thing. You can't. The reason it's not on the man is because we don't know if it's your kid, fam. You know
She
for a
could've been-
fact it's hers.
Yeah.
But you don't know if she smashed the dude right before you. Like, you don't know. That's why I'm saying
That's usually why they.
It's gonna
have
be
an abortion.
shit zero. Is the chances are slim to none for the nigga to ever have a say in what she gonna do. You know, as far as the two as a.
But that's what I'm
as a
saying.
whole.
But I'm saying so when having a kid or the decision of having a kid, do we just as men give all the power up to the lady?
Nah.
That's
That's
basically what you're saying. You're saying like.
But legally, when it comes,
so-
I'm no longer talking legally in this matter. I'm just talking about
Yeah.
from talking from
So,
to
like-
God.
oh, I mean,
Do we just get a power up to her?
You know
Like
what I do?
Keeping it?
You know what I do in that situation? I'm gonna talk to her and see where her head's at, and then I'm gonna decide whether or not I feel that this woman is suitable enough to have my child. Like, we've all had nights where
But then she
we.
can still say, "Well, I'm gonna have the baby anyway."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
no
what the hell
matter-
he talking about?
But then there goes
Nah, you
persuasion.
don't think you suitable?
Nah, but there goes persuasion. Like, if you really think that she ain't suitable enough to have a baby and she's strong, like, then you hit her with the, "Hey, bro, I'm not finna be a good father to this child."
All right.
Ah, you.
just saying,
So
bro.
moving on to the
Using
topic.
me.
If you don't want,
Next
bro, yeah.
topic.
All right, Blizzy.
I mean, I just wanted to know because I feel like when, let's say, for instance, you're with someone that y'all in a relationship,
Mhm.
not engaged,
Okay,
you're
in a
married.
relationship.
And,
Okay,
well,
yeah.
we talk abortion come in different packages, shapes, and sizes.
Right, but for what you are saying, you are in a relationship with someone. Do you have a conversation before if you have an abortion or have a kid?
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying,
Yeah, I'm about to say.
That's what I'm saying. If you just smashed that mother,
no,
you just
see,
met her.
But that's where our train of thought goes, though. We think of abortion, we think about it's somebody we don't want to have a kid with.
That's usually why you have an abortion.
Not always though. But I'm trying to broaden the horizon of viewpoints with abortions because there's more than one area,
It's
right?
about 95, 90.
nah.
I'm just saying. No, but my question is, my question not about abortion, but about the conversation about do we keep the child or not. So, and I know it's a little bit different.
So tell them us listen to J. Cole Lost Ones.
You definitely have a conversation.
But I'm saying,
That's a good song.
but hear me out. I'm saying the conversation that you're having if you get your girlfriend pregnant, are you as a man saying, what do you want to do? Like, are you giving her that card, like, it's up to you, what do you want to do? Or are you coming in and be like, hey,
This your
you
girlfriend
pregnant?
or you love
pregnant? Are you coming excited? Hey, you pregnant?
It depends on if you want to. It depends on if you want to.
Like you could just literally meet a girl hours before.
But no,
Like
he
saying
said your
girlfriend.
girlfriend in a relationship.
Oh,
All right,
it's a
so
girl.
we off the one night stands, fam.
I mean,
All right.
you can,
I'm about to
yeah,
say it.
okay, you can say,
Girlfriend.
I don't think she had a baby. Then she can go have a baby anyway.
Yeah, but
So-
I'm just saying. You
Well,
just
I'm
saying
talking about the
how are you gonna
conversation.
do
We
it?
know what she can do.
Yeah.
Right? We all saying it's her
So
choice.
at the end of the day, like, it don't really matter what I say, as far as like.
Nah,
It does, yeah, it does, bro.
I mean, but to a certain degree, because you know what I'm saying. At the end of the day, she still holds that decision.
Yeah, but persuasion is real.
It's real, bro.
That's all I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
It is.
You cause as a man, you can bring a comfort to her. That baby, I got
yeah,
this.
like
I
if
got you.
exactly. If you come at her on that, well, don't know.
What you trying to do, fam?
That's what you trying to do, or like, but if it just depends on if you want to have a baby or not, bro.
Especially
Like,
if you talking about girlfriend, boyfriend, bro. That's
like, you know, if I'm in that situation now, I'm like, shit, let's get it. You know, we gonna have this
You also
baby. You
older
know what I
too,
mean? Right, more established. You know what I'm saying? Got money. You know, got people to lean back on if something go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that's in place that will allow you to be successful in having a baby.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to see how y'all had a conversation. Are y'all leaving it straight up to them, or are you bringing comfort? I think that definitely has an impact, like you said, on that she feels secure of having this child with you as well, and she's not alone in this.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we was on the topic long enough, so
Yeah.
definitely want to transition into the next aspect. Same thing, I think, as far as socially acceptable is cartoon shows.
Nigga, Mr. Ratburn.
I think we missed a lot of that growing up.
Rat Beezy.
But hold on.
What you mean miss a lot of that?
I'm saying with these cartoons, like these.
Oh, like
messages.
Oh yeah.
But let me
think
get
they
a
had
breakdown.
them much in
Let me get a breakdown of what's going on.
He was saying, I wish I saw some more of that growing up.
Miss me.
I'm saying that there's different cartoons that have different messages. That
Which
you
one?
But that-
as a kid, because you're not developed.
It's true.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
It's
let
like Mr. Rat.
well, let me give a breakdown for the people that may or may not know, because I don't think this was as popular news. But so let me go ahead
It's
and
more
make it
on
on me.
PBS, bro.
Yeah, so everybody grew up PBS Arthur. They're PBS kids Arthur. The hey now.
Yeah, that's a classic.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful time today.
Hey.
Well, you
Well,
learning something else now.
Well, they
All
showing
right.
us that in school.
You learning something else now on Arthur. So Arthur, I didn't even know they were still putting out fresh episodes.
They just came back though.
22nd season.
They brought it back.
22nd season. They dropping new heat. Say DJ Khaled got his album with Arthur. They got their new season dropping.
Hey.
So
Game of Thrones, no, Game of Mr. Ratburn.
so anyway, so Arthur first episode of season 22.
Oh, they popped it off.
They popped it off with that. We coming in with a banger out the gate.
Yeah.
So they introduced you to Mr. Ratburn, and he was always kind of weird. Now that I
He's a hard teacher.
think about it, but I always thought he was just like a mean teacher. Like
Yeah.
that one teacher, you like, man, he be on me, but you learn the most out of
Yeah.
it. So come to find out, Mr.
You learning
Ratburn
something.
likes other Mr. Ratburns. so we don't lose no audience. Mr. Ratburn came out as a homosexual who in the first episode got married to another male.
Another rat.
All of the animals in the show.
So we're gonna be socially
Male rat.
so no. So I mean, not to be insensitive. So the issue, I don't want to say issue. That's a bad term.
You want to read them one?
Nah, I'm good. So the question on it. So he gets married. And it's not really sexually explicit, but it's just showing that he gets married to another male. And they have a wedding, and they show him walking down the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much all there is to it. But it's kind of like the kids find out, oh, Mr. Ratburn got a
Got a dude.
got a dude,
Yeah.
got a husband.
Yeah, got a husband.
and so
Like, damn, Mr.
Right
Rat.
in there.
Crickets.
So what are we?
so get to
The parents all kid, what are you watching?
It's Mr. Ratburn.
but so
Them was crazy, bro.
but come on. So staying on topic. So we know that it's not the first time in cartoons or we'll say just children media that there's been things they tried to touch on, right? Like we were joking beforehand that started off with Ernie and Bert out the gate.
Yeah.
We knew something wasn't right about it, but they was both Rubber Dub,
Yeah.
Rubber Ducky.
They was homies though.
They was in the tub,
Yeah.
Rubber Ducky.
They was on.
Yeah, but they was homies though. You know what I'm saying?
They was homies.
We didn't know no better.
Yeah.
This one was shocking. Sesame Street, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm trying to tell you, so many cartoons.
What about Barney, bro?
But nah, man, we're not gonna go
Ease
down
up.
that list. No.
He's up on Barney.
Yeah, Barney was an OG.
I watched that a lot, my nigga.
Yeah, he had Baby Bop.
Baby Bob.
Actually, know his son. And guess where he went? Say that.
Oh.
Well, back to the topic.
So my thing is, I've seen different cartoons where there's actually one I know just because my nephew and them watch it. I think it's called Loud House. One of the homies, the black kid, he has two dads. He talks about both his dads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he got two dads on it.
Yeah.
I think Arthur, they said in a previous season, so not the first time they tried to infuse. I guess I don't know what you call it, gay movement or gay family or this family or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There was a kid, something they had like a little pen pal dude or whatever. He had two moms. But the difference with this one is the actual marriage scene,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we know that once again, gay marriage wasn't always legal. It's still not legal in every state for someone to get married in the state.
Yeah.
But they're showing, so this is going to that nature, maybe going fighting or making a decision legally how they feel based off states. So that's one aspect I brought up. Like, so it's not so much that Mr. Ratburn's gay, but that they're showing kids gay. Because I do believe certain families' households, this is a real household. People do grow up with two moms. People grow up with two dads. And so these kids are probably feeling like they're properly being represented on TV. Like, oh, this is how my family is. So now my family is not as weird. Or I shouldn't feel so ashamed of my family. Things like that. So I do want to be conscious of those things, but also on the aspect of that the marriage part is the part that gets me. Right.
Why?
Because now I think on a child's show, whether, and this is not just because it's homosexual because Mr. Ratburn is gay. I just think that any type of intimacy, anything that's showing like a marriage, anything that's a relationship, depending on the age level of the child, I just don't think a child that should be the focal point, right? Like you're having an episode, but you're having an episode about this.
It was a wedding.
Correct. So which is intimate to me. To me, some people look at it as business, trademark.
No. What I'm saying is like it's not like they were like talking in depth about their marriage problems and like being engaged and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
it was a ceremony. Like,
but it's still marriage is still intimate and strong, showing about like who you marry, who you love for a lifetime.
So you're saying that shouldn't be on a kid show, basically?
Yeah, on any homosexuality or straight, like anything relationship wise, like kids shouldn't be. I don't think should be watching like.
So you don't think like kids should go to weddings?
I think most people have kids banned at weddings.
What about flower girls and ring boys?
I mean, they're part of it. Yeah, I mean they're part of the wedding.
So are you saying that they shouldn't be at the wedding because it's intimate?
But they don't know what's going on, honestly. Like depending on how old they are.
Yeah, being there and watching a cartoon show, I think has two different cognitive.
And then Arthur has a learning aspect to it as well, to where they actually learn things in the show.
Mm-hmm. So
I think as well. So maybe he's saying there should be a line drawn between if there's a kid show, let's focus on what we're trying to do for the kid as far as like.
Just keep it educational, like let's keep it like math.
Why wouldn't I educate you on something that's gonna happen in your lifetime?
But that's not what PBS typically is for. Like we know PBS when you watch Zoom and all that stuff, Zaboom Fool, all these things.
Those are different shows.
But PBS, the network,
Arthur's always been about societal norms. It's always been about educating culturalistically, like all of those things. So you can't then like I didn't learn math from Arthur. I learned how to behave in the classroom from Arthur, or how to like interact with my friends when we got out of school watching Arthur. But it wasn't about like now, for instance, Zoom. Yeah, I learned about science projects and all of that. Other
but do you
stuff.
remember? You remember on Arthur? They used to always have because it used to be like 2 episodes. It used to always be a break and it used to be like a real live classroom.
Yeah.
And they'd be doing in this classroom. We did a project on blah 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 blah.
Those are real kids.
But it was still about classroom. Yeah, Arthur is about the classroom.
In the break.
Well, no. Most of the show is about a classroom. Most shows like him going to school and some things are after school. But
him dealing with DW, his parents teaching him how to behave if he had if he messed up and got punished for it, his parents talking to him,
But
explaining
everything.
to him
But
why
think
he's
about
in
the characters
trouble.
though. The characters that you know.
Yeah.
Your Buster, remember whatever the dude, the Brain, the Francine, all of them,
Mhm.
Muffy, Binky, all of them. Like they all were his what?
Friends.
Classmates.
Yeah, but what's your point? You don't really have friends outside of
I'm
the
saying, but
classmates.
that's where
That's
Buster's
the
focus on.
nucleus of the show.
Yeah.
That's where we disagree, because how do I know that Francine was an athletic person? How do I know that Muffy was rich? How do I know that Binky was the bully and everybody was afraid of him?
Nah, but Arthur was trying to portray kids going to school, like that type of aspect.
Right.
Like social skills,
Yeah,
you know.
so
what I'm
That's
saying?
my point.
But
Social.
socially,
It's not necessarily educational.
That's
for,
true.
Like,
I
classroom.
mean,
You
yeah,
think that's acceptable for a little kid to be watching?
Yes.
yeah.
How else?
I mean, maybe not my kid, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like,
I mean, it's not like, bro. It's not like
It's
it's two
not.
dudes on the cartoon kissing and slobbing each other
yeah,
down.
that's the thing.
It's literally them. They're on an adventure to stop the wedding because they think that Mr. Ratburn's going to marry this disgruntled woman who turns out to be his sister, and she's just upset about like the ceremony and like the vow part.
Now, what I do think is that before maybe the episode is released or whatever, that you give
PSA.
PSA.
Yeah, 'cause that's the really the main thing is I feel like for me is that's a hard conversation to have as a parent if you're blindsided from it.
Right, like if your kid
I don't
watching
know if I
this,
want to
like,
have that conversation right then and right
yeah,
now.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
kind of force it upon me.
But the question is, when was you gonna have that conversation? If you don't like, think about it. If you don't agree with this lifestyle, when am I gonna introduce this lifestyle
Yeah,
to my child?
but you know what I mean?
When I want.
How old were we?
Yeah, when you want, or
I
when
was
your
like
child.
third, fourth, fifth grade, maybe second, third, fourth grade. Yeah.
I mean, but I don't think there's an interest for a kid to be.
Yeah, I don't think.
Learning about
Yeah, I don't think a
that.
kid cares to know.
I mean, if the kid sees it, bro, he doesn't know whether it's right or
Right or
wrong
wrong.
until you tell him, or you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, man, because you grow up in a household with a mom and a dad. They got married. You know, that's what they see. That's what they know.
right? Or, but that's what I'm saying. If you in a household with two dads, you like,
Yeah.
You don't see that on TV.
shit.
But what's the likelihood of that?
What you
It's basically becoming more
it's
normal.
increasing.
Yeah, I mean,
It
I
is
know it's becoming more normal, but it's still not.
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah, I
normal,
mean-
but
Well, I guess I'm just saying I went back to the whole concept of because I'm not trying to argue that saying that like when my kid watching back that's not right or that is right. You know, I don't necessarily know if I want to have that conversation about that or right or wrong. That's not what I'm really trying to say out of this. What I'm trying to say is the infiltrating in a kids show because I do feel like it was thought out,
Of course.
and so that's the part that kind of like. Man,
so you're
like,
just saying that it doesn't have a
stuff.
place in the kids show.
Like when I was a kid when I watched cartoon, when I
Yeah.
wanted to watch my Power Rangers, when I wanted
Yeah.
to watch whatever I wanted to watch, I mean I was not trying to watch it for no socially acceptable viewpoints.
Hold
Like,
on. You're saying you as a child?
Yeah, when I was a child.
Come
like-
on, dog. You're a child. They put.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
They
But
put,
I didn't
That's
know.
what he's saying.
But I didn't know how to process and take in the information that was given to me, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, you did, bro. Because they write a moral in the story. Like, if you notice, they introduce the topic what they're gonna talk about at the beginning of the episode. It's like a group of kids all together, and then a dilemma happens, and then they try to figure out how they're gonna solve the dilemma. And then at the end of the dilemma, the parents come in and say, "Oh, this is what you did wrong."
Yeah,
And that's how your brain as a child sees, oh, it's an authority figure, it's a parent that says this was right or this was wrong. And that's how you interpret whether it was right or wrong. So the fact that the writers chose not to say gay marriage is wrong or gay marriage is right, they just had two dudes at a wedding get married and didn't say nothing about it
To Mr. Ratburn.
two rats.
to Mr. Ratburns and then what? Tying a knot, you know what I'm saying? The kid, if y'all saying that
Nobody
you wasn't
spoke
looking at it as educational, then the same argument applies. The kid ain't gonna look at it like, oh yeah, Mr. Ratburn got married and that's right. It's like, oh, Mr. Ratburn got married.
But you don't feel like kids at a younger age, for the most part, learn based off what they see. They mimic. They mirror.
Right.
They do, yeah.
And so just like when you used to go watch Power Rangers, as soon as that joint came off, you was I'm Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you start acting right after it. Like I mean, that was just what you did as a kid. I mean, that's what kids do. The moment the show goes off, they want to reenact the scene or be that
So
superhero.
But don't no kid want to be Mr. Ratburn.
until you that
or
joker.
going going to what he
think about it, bro. Like
reenacting that scene. Like you see that as a parent, you gonna be like, hey man.
Hold on.
Depend on-
No, don't
yeah.
be toxic
Yeah,
because
exactly.
if that's how that person or that child wants to act, that's what we're saying about homosexuality. Like he was drawn to it.
Be yourself.
That's what we're saying.
Base. But I mean,
I'm just being 1,000.
Yeah.
That's what
just
it
keeping
is.
it transparent like that. You know what I mean?
feel you,
It goes both ways. You know what I mean?
But that's why I said it should be on both ends. Like I just don't think it should really be shown. Like when you used to watch like Charlie Brown. I mean, I'm going even further back. But like the parents were never in the scene.
My parents used to watch this shit.
But
He said my parents.
but the parents were never seen. You know, most cartoons. You remember you remember Dexter? You never see the parents, or like it'd be
Dexter's
just legs of
Laboratory?
them. It just be the legs of the parents. You right now, what they look like?
Yeah.
Remember like it had on,
Dexter's
like,
Laboratory,
Powerpuff
nigga.
Girls,
Oh yeah.
and the apple was over her face.
Proud Family was like that. Proud Family was like that.
Yeah, so I just say that just to say, I mean, I think television for a long time tried to keep that away, and I think for the most part it should be, but so that we don't go over time. I definitely want to get into my last segment because I think the cartoon it is what it is. Like I think parents should monitor what their kids watch, anyways. So it's important to do that, and when those conversations come up, because you don't know when your kid's gonna bring what conversation to you, you should just be prepared. Like whatever it is, that's part of parenting. Like your kid may come to you and be like, "Hey, I want to have sex," and they be like 6 years old. They don't know what sex is, but they may have heard of it. You know what I mean? So this conversation, you don't get to always dictate when you have it or what triggers it. But
Let me introduce you to nice.
Boy, you hell, boy.
but last topic. But last topic.
Go ahead.
Let's get right into it. I wanted to do. We haven't really done a story component. You know, relationships. Typically, we have a relationship concept conversation. I wanted us to share or get boys when the lady done did you dirty. Out here, we always protect these black women and they innocent. We give them hard time, but you know we get done dirty too.
Yeah.
We get done dirty too. I know ladies get done. Maybe they get the worst end of the stick. We got feelings too as black men. We hurt sometimes.
Yeah, this is very true, man.
Who won't pop it off? Somebody give me one.
John.
Ooh, John.
Oopsies.
Nah, I mean.
Hey, spill the beans, brother.
I done got done dirty. You know what I'm saying? A couple times in my day.
Talk about it, sis.
Hey, that's toxic.
So the one that comes to my mind immediately is I was a senior in high school.
Ooh.
And
Jesuit mind?
Jesuit mind. And so I was
No
talking
booty.
to this shorty, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went to homecoming together and stuff like that and everything. And like I ain't had no girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Previous and nothing like that. So this was my first girlfriend. And so so we went to homecoming and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? We went to like football games. We went to a Bishop Dunn game too, actually.
Yes, indeed. You seen me ball.
Nah, man, y'all lost.
Who we play though?
Shit,
Shit, we probably did lose. We probably did lose, nigga.
You had 100 yards though.
On God, I clown no whatever game it was, nigga. I was eating.
And so you know what I'm saying? We was talking heavy and stuff like that, and then I was texting her one day, and like on the text, you know, they used to have.
What kind of phone you had?
I had the Rumor. And so, you know, they used to have like the signatures at the bottom. So like you can set the signatures at the bottom and shit like that. And so like one day I was just texting her and then and then it said Marley and Me. And so I thought about the movie, so I was like, oh, why you changing Marley? You know, because you like the movie.
Yeah.
And then she's like, yeah, you know, that's my favorite movie. And so, okay, bet. And so then, and that's when Facebook was real popping too. Like, and so one day, you know, I was on Facebook, and then you know what I'm saying, and on her page, we're like, I guess kind of like what's it called, like close friends or some shit like that, to where this dude named Marley kept on popping up, and then like after like maybe like a couple days, I was like,
You got the hint.
Marley, and then so I kind of put it together, and then I saw them taking pictures together and stuff, and so Then one day I texted her, I was like, yo, so this Marley and me signature, this is what you really meant. And she was like, yeah.
I hate to break it to you.
And so that lasted.
Duh.
Yeah, so
That's
the one that
tough.
comes to mind.
But, you know, I got one, man, when I was a senior in high school.
That's prom time.
Yep, prime time, brother.
Shawty from Skyline.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Oh, I already
You
knew it.
already know.
I already knew
Shawty
it.
from Skyline, boy, she hurt my feelings, nigga.
I got a Skyline story too, brother.
Hey, so anyway,
Big
bro.
man.
So that mother, I met. Where did I meet that mother? I forgot where I met her.
Stadium.
Stadium?
I'm just making stuff up. It just sounds
Nah,
juicy
I
that
didn't
way.
Stadium.
Just add to the story.
I don't even know.
Stadium.
Oh no, we went to a high school game, Cedar Hill, and my homegirl Lauren. Goddamn Lauren. Yeah, El Cleasy. So she was she introduced me to her. So that's her kinfolk. And I'm like, shit, bet. You know what I'm saying? We were cool. She, she put me on. I was like, damn, I kind of like her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Got the liking that mug. Got the dating her. Boy, we went to then we went to prom. It came time for the prom, right? And boys around is telling me like, say, dog, your girl doing you dirty. I'm like,
You know what you did.
Like,
Shawty. You know what you did.
like
You know what you
like
did.
your girl is really out here, fam.
Out
Like
here,
she
bro.
playing, you my nigga, like, and I'm in that hoe. Nah,
Not mine.
not me. You know what I mean? Yeah, she doing me like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm like, nah. So anyway,
Hold
prom.
on, you found out right before prom?
Nah.
Oh.
So this just was the last straw, fam. So anyway, we went to prom, and afterwards, you usually have something to do, right? Or whether it's a party or you go to eat or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
IHOP, man.
Basically, yeah. So we went to IHOP.
Damn.
So we went to IHOP. And then, we at that mug. She basically didn't know what she wanted to do, fam. I'm like, shout, I got to be home by 3 o'clock. It's like 2:30. You know what I mean? And, bro, I was just trying to be there for her and just support her and shit. Like, but she just, my nigga, basically, she had a whole nother nigga that went there, you know what I'm saying, and played ball and shit that she was still fucking with. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I was the Mr. the good guy. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
I'm in this bitch like, god damn. So then after the prom, I ended up getting into it with like one of her good nigga friends. I'm like, I said, shout, I gotta take you home because I gotta go. You know what I'm saying? And he like, nigga, you gone. Cause then everybody get in a fight with this nigga because, she don't want to respect my parents' time.
Don't say what.
And I'm like, damn. So then after that, man, it was all bad. My feelings was hurt. I was hurt. I was hurt. Yeah. Nah, I was real deal. Like, I was hurt for real, bro. Like, cause I really liked that mother. You know what I'm saying?
He
Like,
still hurt.
and nah.
That joke is still hurt.
But I was just like, but she was just cool, fam. And I was like, yeah, I like her. You know what I'm saying? But then I'm just like,
Girl, we out here, man.
yeah,
Jizzle, I need it. Give me one, Jizzle.
I was hurt.
I think you already know where you going with this one. You was right there with boys.
Nah, you talk about it. I ain't gonna know nothing.
Speak
I don't
on
know
it.
nothing.
Long story short,
Nah, we don't want it short.
Go ahead.
nah, we
Yeah, we
gotta
short on.
run out of
Yeah.
time. I'm gonna make it short for boys. So basically, been talking to this girl for a while. Been knowing her for a while. She like surprised. I guess like yeah, good looks. She. It's Christmas, bro.
Yeah.
It's Christmas. I'm already depressed. It's when I injured my foot. I was depressed, down on life.
Yeah,
Hey, give us a timeline,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah,
What
yeah.
year was this, bro?
Go ahead, brother.
About 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good 5.
Yeah.
Strong 5.
Strong 5. It's crazy. They freeze.
Yeah.
Cold heart.
Got an ice box with.
No, but yeah, she basically was on Christmas. She was like, yeah, so somebody surprised me and asked me to be, their girl or whatever. It's on Christmas. I'm thinking we good. Like, I'm like,
She told
dang.
you this?
Yeah.
And so how long was y'all talking?
5 to 6 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was. It was on the way there, and
Okay.
then she just hit your boy randomly. Was
With
like,
that?
hey, somebody surprised me,
Mm.
asked me to be that girlfriend or whatever. So I'm just like, dang, like I ain't gonna lie, boys was hurt, man.
Yeah.
I was like, I was sitting there, I was like, boy, trying to be manly, dog. Your boy was sitting there, I was like, that shit. And you know you hurt when you think about it for numerous days at a time, like.
Yes, sir.
And that one like, what
That
I
mother
go
just
wrong?
linger. Like, you
I
just
ain't
like,
see it.
dang, like your boy got played.
Play. It sucks, man.
But also, you encounter with somebody, they gonna always come back around.
Hey, I ain't even want to go there.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do the bounce.
Yeah, I ain't
We're gonna
even-
say that
but-
for the next time.
Yeah.
Don't even hit him with the bounce back. You
Yeah,
see me
I ain't
glowing.
gonna-
You see me
but,
with the endo water.
Yeah.
You dig?
Big corporations. You know, yeah.
No, it ain't even like that. But I'm just saying any, you know, any like reasonable encounter with somebody, you know, where y'all vibe or whatever.
Man, we ain't trying to hear that.
No, I'm just saying.
Trying to end on a good note.
Nah,
Hey,
you heard.
hey now.
They were trying to get it redeem his status now, but I'm good.
But
though.
I'm good though.
We good though.
Man,
We
whatever.
good over it.
Man, what you got, Mill?
Man, which one y'all want, bro? I done had my fair share. Y'all want recent? Y'all want back in the day?
Hey, man, give me a good one. Short and sweet.
This one, short
I
and
want-
sweet.
I wanna. Nah.
Nah, we ain't doing that. Give me what you got. Nah,
Just give me what you got, brother.
Let's go with high school, man. We just ran into that mud. Shouldn't-
Oh.
Yeah, that mud.
I need it.
So, like Bobby, I was in high school. I was a junior in high school, and funny story, man. I was playing football just like you, and she was a cheerleader at Skyline. And
You Skyline. who?
They had them at that thing.
nah, they did have them. They had all of them.
Skyline.
But so my brother Matthew went to Skyline. So I had plugged my best friend Toy went to Skyline too. So like I had like little antennas everywhere around that motherfucker. And you know, the girl I was with, we was like really in love, I would say. You know what I'm saying? Like we went out on dates, movies. I go over her house, kick it. You know what I'm saying? Parents cool, know the moms, know the dad.
Yeah.
So, man, so I'm really at I'm at this point. I'm like, I like this mug.
Yeah.
Borderline love this
Yeah,
mug.
them Skyline mugs make you like them, though.
Man, say, bro. I didn't. So I didn't already hit. You know what I'm saying? A couple times. So we serious. This is junior high school, and I get a call from my brother's girlfriend. Said, hey. It's about your girl, dog. I said, what what's going down?
Yeah.
She said, that's your girl, right? Gave me a name, and I was like, yeah. She said, man.
She everybody.
Nah,
girl.
once they hit,
Everybody.
she hit you with the man.
Yeah, she hit me
Sheesh.
with the
If
everybody,
you
bro.
playing me, keep it.
She said, I got the
on
pictures
low.
right here.
No.
I said, yo,
'Cause my
the
heart-
pictures, dog. That's what got me. Yes, that was in circulation, man. So
Hold
once
on. Pictures of what?
the
Oh,
pictures of
that-
her.
The
sheesh.
Buckies?
Oh, sheesh.
Oh my God.
Man, that was
No.
a girl.
No.
So yeah,
The
I mean,
Buckies?
the bucket.
The
The bucket
bucket.
naked.
yeah. So they she had them in her
damn.
phone.
Skyline too.
So like, bro, I'm pretty sure like everybody at the school had the most. So I was like,
But was they from the past or?
I mean, that was in circulation.
Damn.
Somebody exposed.
And then she was
That's
telling me
tough.
like the dudes that had already, you know what I'm saying? I said, man.
Oh,
So,
man.
like I said, she was a cheerleader on the Skyline.
Sheesh.
So the football boys was in
Yeah,
it.
so I just ran
Football
through her
boys.
friends.
Of course, Mill with the solution.
Yeah. That's funny.
And the good thing about going to Jesuit is, she ain't know.
All right.
What about you, Zo?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Say,
Last of the
Hey,
Mohicans.
I've been through you. I've been with you through many heartbreaks, brother.
it was-
I saw one of your heartbreaks the other day.
Say, watch out now.
say, hold tight.
They say, watch out, man.
I'll be damned.
We can cut that point out.
Yeah.
It's a cut and
Thank you, Indo Water. For
Go
Nah,
ahead.
she ain't escaping this one.
nah.
Go ahead, nigga. Short and sweet.
I keep mine real short and sweet because we running on the time.
He's sweating too.
Nice boy.
Yeah, them lights hit you.
You're gonna feel like a 7-Eleven hot dog.
Yeah, go.
Man trying to dodge these muds.
That last slice of pizza, boy. Alright.
Just got a sweat.
You did.
Feel like a Baptist preacher. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Nah, I keep mine real short and sweet, man. So mine was, man, smooth right out of Texas State. Back at the crib. Y'all all know who she is. Yeah, buddy. So, God damn it. So we had always, me and her,
Go ahead.
me and her, we was never an item, but we always had the on and off thing. It was that that recognize, like, party next door, like, just better recognize when I see, like, when I see you, it's like, we together, you know what I'm saying? Just whenever I see you running to you, like, you mine, like, it was kind of that ordeal.
For sure.
And I mean, I probably dropped the ball in certain instances. I could take my ownership. I never really tried to just make her my girl, even though, like, we liked each other. We had whatever strong relation, but she was always down. She had it down. She was cool. I was like, dang, she must be feeling me, because I could just hit her up at the drop of the dime. Hey, me and my boy, we coming down summertime, text day, we in this spot to stay. She held it down.
Now you remember.
Each and every time. So anyway, so I'm like, but each time, like, I couldn't really kick it with her, feel with her all the way. Like, I don't know, whenever it was one-on-one, it just was, I don't know, just wasn't feeling the personality, chemistry-wise, wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, dang, but I like her, but I just can't get with her anyway. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to make a move. I'm trying to impress her. Let me go ahead and try to own up. Let me try to show her I really care about her. Let me make this step. All right, so we're back to Texas State, summertime. I said, hey, I got tickets to the comedy show. I'm trying to go all out, you know, how I try to do it. It was when Eddie Griffin, George Lopez, Cedric the Entertainer, Charlie Murphy, R.I.P. And
that's a classic comedy show.
I forgot who the other person was, but so it was a legit comedy show. It was a big time comedy show, American Airlines Center.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, I'm doing it big. Like, I got these tickets. What's happening? You know you're gonna holler at your boy after this. I'm in there, right?
Yeah, I'm in there.
So I got the tickets. She like, but she's in Austin. She working in Austin and everything, summertime. So I'm like, you gonna be able to make it? You gonna be able to make it? She's like, yeah, I'll make it. First, I tell her this advance when I got the tickets, right? So she was like, well, I was like, take off for it. So she said, all right, I'm gonna take off. I got off, and then it got close to it. She like, I wasn't able to get off. I was like, all right, well, you gonna be able to get off in time to get. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna try to get off early. Blah blah blah. 3-hour drive. I'm already gonna set up. Whoop de whoop. So it's just getting closer and closer. I'm like, fam, where you at? Like, I'm getting madder and madder. Like, I'm like, I know she not finna stand me up.
Yeah.
But she coming, though.
Yeah.
Finally she come, but it's like, you know how, like, jokers don't really be responding to you and texting you? You be like, fam, I need you to text me as soon as I seeing how much you already be coming, like bouncing back.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm like, no, fam, I spend my money on this. Like,
yeah.
And so, man, I don't even know, man, too much. Like, at that time, though, like,
calm down, bro.
Yeah, hold on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So anyway, so she drives. She finally get there, and like, she's like, then she get to here to Dallas. Like, bet. She's like, I still gotta get ready, cause she was staying in the hotel at the folks' crib. So, you know, I thought wasn't going, but she was. I still gotta get ready. I'm like, what? Damn. Get ready.
Late.
Yeah.
Then, like, it just, she taking her time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now she trying to look good for you, bro.
Yeah, whatever. But anyways, at the end of the day, we probably caught the last 5-10 minutes of the show.
Ooh.
It's my first comedy show. Like, I want to see these are the legends. Talking about ain't nothing funny when I'm in there. Let me pop that off.
Yeah.
We get this Cedric. I'm like, ain't nothing funny when I'm finna say to her. It ain't gonna be funny. I'm hot. I'm hot.
Thanks for coming out, ladies.
No, like, I just sat down.
Amazing night.
You know, like.
Hey, Zoe walks in there, boy.
Dog, you know it's bad when the ushers.
Nah, what happened?
Dog, you know it's bad when the ushers look at you like,
Like, dang, hey, safe holiday. You know this more over with, right?
Yeah. Hope you didn't pay for parking.
Yeah. Nigga, and you pay for
And
parking.
I paid for parking.
God damn. That's a
I tell you right now.
That's that bull.
Oh, yeah, that's that B.
That's that
That's capital
bull.
letter B.
Yes, indeed.
So I was like, oh,
God
I ain't feeding her. In my head, I'm like, I ain't feeding her.
So then she hungry.
I don't care if you're hungry. I'm not feeding you, dog. I'm not.
Hey, I'm there with you.
I'm just trying to drop you off and get home because I'm hot.
Yeah.
Like, because for me, we wasn't that item. I'm like, in my head, I'm making this move to show her, like, you gonna be my girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You my girl. Like, I'm finna let you meet the folks. You know what, man? I'm finna go ahead and make this thing for real.
Yeah.
And then you play me like, I told you this in advance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting hot. Like, I told you this in advance. Take off, you didn't take off. Like, whatever. Get here on time.
You showed her the Oak Cliff Jet.
So-
And we criticize for that.
Okay, so why was she so late?
Ain't no reason why. She had to work.
Just
She got
played
out
you.
work late, traffic. Like, but you knew what time it was. I told you, like, I gave you ample amount of time to prepare for this.
Right.
Told you to take off too.
Hold on. So
Told you to take off. She knew this like a month before. I said, I got these tickets to this I'm trying to impress her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do the whole nine, and she.
She probably ain't trying to take off until like last minute. Like, hey, boss, by the way, you gotta take the day off.
And she probably had a whole dude, all that.
Boy, she had it all.
Yeah. So, anyways,
She's sad.
yeah. So that's our heartbreak story. So, let you know, we are also vulnerable guys that go through a lot too. Black men,
But we always
Don't
bounce
we have
back.
feelings. We always bounce back.
back.
But anyway, just to sign off, man. Bounce back. Anyways, no, but this was a whole lot of nothing podcast, man. Y'all just heard a whole lot of nothing, man.
Thanks.
Hey, tune in. You can find us on YouTube. We're putting the episodes out every Wednesday. Audio comes out every Tuesday, man.
Yes, indeed.
Wherever you can find it. I know it got to be coming up soon. Some on Apple Podcasts, but it's on everywhere.
Nah, it's on Apple Podcasts.
It is now? Okay,
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, Google
It's on there.
Podcasts, Spotify, all that. So, man, just type in a whole lot of nothing, and you'll find the podcast, man. Page.
The movement, man.
Yeah, support the movement. Page,
Thanks.
Instagram page. We're working on getting that up. We got a lot of other cool things coming up in the works. Man, we're working, trying to get y'all the best podcast we can give you.
Thanks.
We're glad to have Big Meal back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lotto, Mill from the
Lotto,
cliff.
hey,
Back. It feels good
hey.
to be back, man.
Merch.
Once again, yeah, shout out to Radiotherapy for what you're doing, man. Shout out to Indo Water for the
Merch coming
sponsorship.
soon, Doc.
Merch coming soon. Other than that, hey,
Hey,
be
Fuel
easy.
City Tacos
Hey,
dropping
hit
too.
me up.
Yes,
CBD
indeed.
is the new wave. If you want health and wellness, hit your boy up.
Hey, whole lot of nothing. We out.
Hold it down.